Smart, mon king fenge, o sari maribo. What's a seku, just a what up with? I remember Kame. What's a seku, just a what up with? I remember Kame. What's a seku, just a what up with? I remember Kame. What's a seku, just a what up with? I remember Kame. What's a seku, just a what up with? I remember Kame. What's a seku, just a what up with? I remember Kame. What's a seku, just a what up with? I remember Kame. What's a seku, just a what up with? I remember Kame. That concept, Grandago, Mumbeno. C'est quoi, c'est quoi, c'est quoi, je savais, et tout le monde m'aime. I don't know, oh, but no. Then it's smart. Mon king find ya. O sari maribo. What's the cool? Just a go up with. I don't know. What's the cool? Just a go up with. I don't know. What's the cool? Just a go up with. I don't know. What's the cool? Just a go up with. I don't know. What's the cool? Just a go up with. I don't know. What's the cool? Just a go up with. I don't know. What's the cool? Just a go up with. I don't know. What's the cool? Just a go up with. I don't know. That concept grand ago. Mukuba, Bate, Mechi, Agua, Peter, Eno. Joseph Uragwe,
Tinanyingame,
Moses Joseph Uragwe,
Akamonyoe,
Tinanyingame,
Emarwe,
Duakame Munyo, Tinarame,
Emarwe,
Duakam Munyo, Tinanyingame, Duakam Munyo, Tinarame. Ah, Seseku, Away, Wongano, Tinanyingame, oh, Tinarame,
Tinanyingame, Akamonyoe, Tinanyingame, Akamonyoe.
yes sir. This is a salmon and another one. I don't want mambo. I don't want a bunta no bunty. Never let you take it from. I don't want mambo. As I'm there, won't do a bit of going. Never let you take it from. I don't want mambo. I don't want a bunta no bunty. Never let you take it from. I don't want mambo. As I'm there, won't do a bit of going. Never let you take it from. Mona someone knows someone timbang, ngong bong tete. Mona good no come timbang, ngong bong tete. Mona someone knows someone nie, ngong bo tete. Mona good no good nie, ngong bo tete. Asama bongo goe, otonga le frindie. Anuna bongo goe, otonga le frimbine. Asama bongo chugo, otonga le frinzetele. Anuna bongo goe, otonga le frinkale. Abana kosa, kosa, abana kosa, kosa, abana kosa, kosa, abana kosa, kosa.
My dear compatriot, Cameroonian women and men, today it is with deep emotion and immense pride that I address you. Together, we have written history. Throughout this campaign, I saw a Cameroon standing tall. I saw women, men, youth, and elders braving threats, facing intimidation, yet remaining mobilized. I saw voters keeping watch in polling stations until the end of the night, protecting their voices, defending the truth of the ballot box. This courage, this determination will forever remain engraved in the memory of our nation. First, I want to say thank you to the Cameroonian people. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for believing in change. Thank you to all who voted and to all who protected their vote. You are the true heroes of this victory. My gratitude also goes to all the men and women who fought this battle before me. Without your work, we would not be here today. For this, I say thank you. I also thank the candidates who have already sent me their congratulations and recognize the will of the people. Their gesture honors our democracy and marks the beginning of a new era where the unity of the opposition and the civil society becomes an irreversible force. I want to say it with gravity and simplicity. The people have chosen, and this choice must be respected. I call on all institutions, all administrative authorities, all officials, not to make themselves enemy of the people they are meant to serve. The time of fear, manipulation, and false calculation is over. The only camp that matters today is that of Cameroon. To our defense and security forces, I pay tribute to your loyalty. I call on you to remain on the side of the Republic and of the people. Do not let anyone divert you from your sacred mission to protect the people, not a regime. To the youth of Cameroon, I say, the future belongs to you. To our teachers, our workers, our farmers, our soldiers, our journalists, our diaspora, I repeat, you stood firm and you won. Together, we will turn the page. Together, we will reconcile our nation, rebuild our institution, and open the path to a just, dignified, and fraternal future. In the coming days, I will share with you a detailed report of your vote by region as compiled from the result publicly posted in accordance with Article 113 of the Electoral Code in polling stations across the countries and the diaspora. These results deeply moved me. They show that this victory goes beyond my person. It is a clear sanction of the regime in place and a plebiscite in favor of immediate change because the victory is overwhelming. My dear compatriot, the whole world is watching us. History is observing us. My dear compatriot, Cameroonian women and men, today it is with deep emotion and immense pride that I address you. Together we have written history. Throughout this campaign, I saw a Cameroon standing tall. I saw women, men, youth, and elders braving threats, facing intimidation, yet remaining mobilized. I saw voters keeping watch in polling stations until the end of the night, protecting their voices, defending the truth of the ballot box. This courage, this determination will forever remain engraved in the memory of our nation. First, I want to say thank you to the Cameroonian people. Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for believing in us. Thank you for believing in change. Thank you to all who voted and to all who protected their vote. You are the true heroes of this victory. My gratitude also goes to all the men and women who fought this battle before me. Without your work, we would not be here today. For this, I say thank you. I also thank the candidates who have already sent me their congratulations and recognize the will of the people. Their gesture honors our democracy and marks the beginning of a new era where the unity of the opposition and the civil society becomes an irreversible force. I want to say it with gravity and simplicity. The people have chosen, and this choice must be respected. I call on all institutions, all administrative authorities, all officials, not to make themselves enemy of the people they are meant to serve. The time of fear, manipulation, and false calculation is over. The only camp that matters today is that of Cameroon. To our defense and security forces, I pay tribute to your loyalty. I call on you to remain on the side of the Republic and of the people. Do not let anyone divert you from your sacred mission to protect the people, not a regime. To the youth of Cameroon, I say, the future belongs to you. To our teachers, our workers, our farmers, our soldiers, our journalists, our diaspora, I repeat, you stood firm and you won. Together, we will turn the page. Together, we will reconcile our nation, rebuild our institution, and open the path to a just, dignified, and fraternal future. In the coming days, I will share with you a detailed report of your vote by region as compiled from the result publicly posted in accordance with Article 113 of the Electoral Code in polling stations across the countries and the diaspora. These results deeply moved me. They show that this victory goes beyond my person. It is a clear sanction of the regime in place and a plebiscite in favor of immediate change because the victory is overwhelming. My dear compatriot, the whole world is watching us. History is observing us.
Hello and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to ABS News Talk with yours truly, coming to you from the great state of Texas, precisely Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas. It's a pleasure to be with you today to bring you updates with what is happening in La République du Cameroon. La République du Cameroon following the elections of October 12th, that was last Sunday. So much has been going on with the regime in Yaoundé threatening the citizens to avoid announcing or publishing any form of results. However, the opposition leader Issa Chiroma on Monday came out and declared himself the winner of that election. And I think it was strategic, very, very strategic for him to have come out to boldly take the bull by the horns to declare that, going by what his own campaign collected out there, the results they collected out there, he overwhelmingly won the day. And so they have now put La République du Cameroon in the defensive. And Paul Atanganji, even when his department, his ministry is coming out and still putting out fake results that according to him should only be put out by ELECAM and the Constitutional Council, his department is putting out results that are supposed to be illegal in that matter. But ladies and gentlemen, I want you to go ahead and hit your share button if you are watching by way of the social media, that is Facebook, YouTube, before I bring you my talking point for the day. So please do me that favor, hit that share button as I come back to you very soon. thank you, ladies and gentlemen, once more for tuning in. I would like to welcome all of you who are watching from Africa by way of satellite television. Of course, those of you joining by way of the social media, thank you for tuning in. Again, something very historic is going on in Cameroon. For the first time in almost 43 years, the incumbent Paul Biya is being challenged. And as of now, whether they like it or not, it is very apparent that this time Paul Biya would bow, either legally or by force, to get out of power. That is what we see in the horizon. And I don't see anything changing that. Issa Chiroma has come out to declare himself the victor of that election, and I think everybody agrees with him, going by what the results that we have seen tabulated from the polling centers and sent out to the social media. It is overwhelming. The result, the victory was overwhelming. And so in the backdrop of French Cameroon Ministry of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganji coming out hostilely sending out fake results. Chiroma had to come out to let La République du Cameroon know, the citizens know, that he won the day, and so it is time for them to defend the vote. And so that is what is going on, ladies and gentlemen. I will be joined tonight by Eric Chinje, who has been following this, and of course then I will be also joined by the Honorable Chris Ajua, the chair of the Restoration Council of Amazonia. But before I bring them in, I'd like to bring you my monologue for the day, which has to do with updates on what is going on the ground, updates of what is going on the ground, ladies and gentlemen. Again, this is very detailed. I asked you to be patient with me. It is informative, it is educative, and I believe it is also illuminating. So please do not just bear with me as I bring you this lengthy presentation before my guests come in. Cameroon stands today at a moment of acute political attention. The presidential election of October 12 was always going to be a focal test of the Biya regime's ability to maintain control after more than 4 decades in power. What is unfolding in the days since it's less than an election than a contest for legitimacy. I'm sorry, my teleprompter is messing up. And whether the people's will, I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen, my teleprompter is messing me up here really badly, but I will do it. On one side of the regime is deeply petrified, centralized, reliant on patronage, with control over security, administration, and many levels of electoral management. On the other side is a newly energized opposition front, rallying around Issa Chiroma, with a broad cross-section of civil society, political forces, younger voters, and elites who sense that Biya's time is ending. Already, the struggle is not just about votes, but about narratives, intimidation, and whether the regime will yield. Let us walk through what is happening, region by region, and institution by institution, and what it signals about a likely outcome and the risk ahead. In the north, Chiroma's base, it is the epicenter of defiance. By design and by emotional resonance, the north of Cameroon, Garoua, Maroua, and the surrounding regions is where this election's drama is most intimate. It is where Issa Chiroma comes from, where his network of social ties remains deepest, and where the regime has long depended on patronage to hold sway. Marwa and Garoua have become focal points of visible defiance. On election day, reports and videos circulated of army deployments around Chiroma's house, ostensibly to stop him from declaring victory. By Monday and Tuesday, however, the security forces had pulled back, and the crowd had swelled in his vicinity, effectively surrounding his residence as a human shield. Security forces appeared unwilling or unable to push back, perhaps wary of the optics of force against mass civilian assembly. Issa Chiroma's base has taken these moves as proof of regime panic. In Marwa especially, his declaration of victory, backed by tallies from polling agents, local reports, and the social media compilations, resonates strongly. The notion is no longer that he might have won, but that he did win, and that the regime's suppression is an act of desperation. Across the North, the mobilization has more than symbolic value. It is a real physical presence that complicates any attempt by the state to forcibly massage results or crowd out local counting. Towns that once faithfully delivered block votes for the CPD and the ruling party are gripped by defiance this time. Even in rural areas, local observers report that Issa Chiroma's teams were asserting presence, insisting on tally transparency, and refusing to be pushed aside by traditional intermediaries. The regime, for its part, has reacted. Sources claim that troops are being reallocated from the Ambazonia battlefront for redeployment to a possible new battlefront up north. That suggests two things. Number one, the regime is taking seriously the threat of instability in the north. Second, it is prioritizing regime survival over contested front lines. If the state chooses to pull back on the war against Ambazonian fighters, that signals just how existential this election is perceived to be. In Douala, if the North is the symbolic heart of Chiroma's action, Douala is the economic and demonstrative axis of protest. Already on Monday and Tuesday, hundreds, if not thousands of people reportedly took to the streets, shutting down roads, pulling down large billboards of poor beer, demanding that their vote be respected, and refusing to yield to any form of intimidation. These are not scattered protests but organized demonstrations from youth groups, opposition cells, and civil society networks. The message? Fraud, rigging, suppression will not stand unchallenged. Police and gendarme forces intervene quickly, blocking, dispersing, asserting, but the willingness of citizens to risk confrontation is itself striking. In Douala, where both resources and communicative reach are higher. Protests generate visibility and pressure. For the regime in Yaoundé, Douala's unrest is deeply threatening because it serves as broadcast amplification. If the streets of Douala erupt, state messaging cannot easily deny it. The optics of clampdown are costly at home and abroad. That in turn puts pressure on security actors and provincial governors who must balance orders from above with ground risk. In many ways, Douala's protests are the counterweight to Marawa's mass support. One is the core base defending their own. The other is the financial, demographic, and media center demanding credibility everywhere in that country. Let's move to Yaoundé, the nerve center of anxiety in La République du Cameroon. Yaoundé is the front line of political theater. It houses the presidency, key ministries, ELECAM and the Ministry of Territorial Administration and the Constitutional Council. In the capital, regime actors deeply deploy their most refined tools: information control, cohesion, strategic deployment of security forces, and legal and bureaucratic maneuvers. Already, press statements have been read out by the Ministry of Territorial Administration, that is, from Paul Atanganji and allied actors, labeling as illegal any unauthorized declaration of victory before the Constitutional Council's formal announcement. Paul Atanganji has insisted that any fake results, according to him, or any fake results platform will be punished, and that only the council may proclaim the winner. Yet this posture is hollow, empty. The regime is simultaneously engaging in precisely the manipulation it condemns publicly. One instrument of that manipulation is the MINAT Department of Elections and Referenda. MINAT, that is Ministry of Territorial Administration, Department of Elections and Referenda. In the days since the election, reports have emerged, often through social and partisan leaks, that the Ministry of Territorial Administration is quietly compiling results favorable to Paul Biya, slicing disfavored tallies, and releasing internal bulletins showing Paul Biya's lead. These internal results are then touted in friendly media and provincial outlets as though they were legitimate, creating confusion, the very confusion they are warning against. At the same time, the authorities have sought to suppress or delegitimize any results that contradict the official script, their official script. Any tally outside the ELECAM or the Constitutional Council channel is branded fraudulent, even when identical data are being aggregated from polling stations by union observers, opposition agents, or civil society. Their message is, you may have tallies, but they don't count until we say so. That's Paul Atanganji. That gives the regime a rhetorical urge. They can accuse Chiruma of breach while itself violating electoral norms behind closed doors. The backroom tussle also extends to the governors, regional delegates, the DOs and SDOs, and departmental functionaries. Many of these figures feel their own political survival is on the line. Some are actively leaking, others subtly urging unsure whether to push regime scripts or shift loyalty if momentum continues against Paul Biya. The writing is essentially on the wall and is widely perceived. Many of these actors have profited for decades from the CPDM patronage. Under a new regime, their positions are endangered. The fear is that every election now is less about power retention and more about preserving their loot, all that they have stolen for the 42 years of that regime. That is what they are scared about. People like Paul Atanganji, Paul Tasso, Ngongo, and all those governors and ministers. The tension in Cameroon is not just on the street, it is crucially within the electoral and administrative machinery. Several core dynamics are at work here. Number one, selective disclosure, exclusivism of resort authority. The regime insists that only a LECAM, ladies and gentlemen, and the Constitutional Council may legally release results, a rhetorical line used to criminalize any contrary claim. But in practice, the regime acts through parallel channels, MINAD, departmental offices, government-aligned media, to leak results favorable to Biya before the official bodies finalize their own count. This dual-track approach creates confusion, undermines trust, and muddies the waters. Point number 2, the suppressing of polling agents and independent tallying. On the ground, opposition and civil society agents report intimidation, undue physical pressure, and obstruction in rural and semi-urban polling stations. Some agents are reportedly prevented from transmitting tallies, dissuaded from filing appeals, or told to remain silent. In places where irregularities are obvious, overcount, ballot stuffing, complaints and protests have been suppressed or totally ignored. In some rural areas, particularly the traditional strongholds of the CPD and manipulation, reports have circulated of entire villages showing vote totals in excess of the number of people living in the community. These are the very areas the regime views as its safety net. By compromising them, the opposition threatens to unravel the core of Biya's durability. Number 1, let's look at the selective audits and the correction that they are carrying out in Minad. Even as tallies emerge contradicting official scripts, regime actors are making counterclaims of adjustments or corrections to rectify anomalies in favor of Paul Biya. In some instances, they point to urban underperformance of Isa Chiroma, and claim that rural areas must compensate. But that logic is circular. The rural areas are precisely where manipulation is demanded. In effect, the regime is seeking to reverse anomalies to its favor under the guise of validation rather than transformation. Then we also have delaying tactics and time manipulation by the regime. Cameroon's electoral law allows up to 15 days for the Constitutional Council to proclaim the results. The regime is likely to explore this window, dripping official statements, incremental leaks, and micro announcements to control momentum and reduce windows for protest or mobilization. The delay benefits those who can manipulate quietly behind closed doors. Meanwhile, civil society, observers, and campaign teams press for transparency at every moment, seeking to fix attention on discrepancies before they can be buried. In sum, or in conclusion, the regime is playing a double game, publicly decrying unauthorized claims as unlawful, while privately engineering results through parallel bureaucratic channels. The goal is to create a post-election swarm in which confusion, competing claims, and delay become the default. But the risk is that the people will not accept a beaten horse being declared winner through smoke and mirrors. Let's look at this now. The role that political leaders, civil society, the Bar Association, the level of pressure they are putting on the regime. The surprising strength of this moment is how many actors are distancing themselves from regime loyalty and aligning with Issa Chiroma's call. The Bar Association of Cameroon, various human rights groups, youth coalitions, and several opposition figures have stepped forward, some tentatively, some boldly, to endorse Issa Chiroma's claim and demand Bia's graceful exit from the throne he has held for over 42 years. Some highlights of their pressure and tactics include the endorsement of the declaration by Issa Chiroma. In press releases and public statements, civil society groups have affirmed that Issa Chiroma's tally aggregate comport with their own parallel observation structures and that his claim of victory is credible. They urge that any official count that contradicts strong evidence must be questioned. Then there are also calls for peaceful withdrawal by Paul Biya. Many are emphasizing that a false proclamation of Mr. Biya as president or winner would be catastrophic to national peace and unity, asking him to bow out in dignity rather than force a crisis. The language of saving the country from disintegration is often evoked to frame the legitimacy, the battle, not as politics alone, but as existential. Then there is legal pressure and oversight demands. The Bar Association has raised public demands for access to protocols, legal transparency in appeals, and pressure on the Constitutional Council to do its duty impartially. Then there is also mobilization rhetoric, not just praise. Especially after Chiroma's Wednesday call, many civil society leaders have echoed his tone. Citizens must not be passive. Citizens must not be passive, not wait passively for justice, but assert their votes with presence, they say. That is a more activist posture than in past elections where legalistic appeals dominated. Meanwhile, other political leaders, former Biya allies, governors, ministers, and local CPD and cadets find themselves in a dilemma here, ladies and gentlemen. Some are quietly urging, not endorsing Chiroma, but not fully defending Paul Biya either. Some are openly worried about their own exposure when or if power shifts. That is their biggest nightmare. The fear is palpable. The loyalty network is fraying in La République du Cameroon. On Monday, following reports of mass fraud and manipulation, Chiroma issued a video statement asserting that the people had delivered his victory. He thanked citizens for voting, framed the regime's counterclaims as desperate, and demanded that Biya respect the ballot box. Then, between Tuesday and yesterday, that is Wednesday, the regime escalated its rhetoric through Paul Atanganji and others, denouncing Chiroma's claim as a grotesque hoax. It reiterated that unauthorized announcements would be punished. But Chiroma responded. He urged citizens not to await honest results, but to defend the result they already know they won. He instead told supporters to ignore threats from Paul Atanganji and to maintain civic vigilance. If anything, ladies and gentlemen, Issa Chiroma is signaling a shift. This is no longer about waiting as in the days of Frundi and Kamto. It is about asserting victory. The tone is that of a leader ready to claim what he regards as his rightful mandate. The regime, confronted with mass defiance, appears jittery. Its inner messaging is conflicting. Clamp down publicly, leak in private, delay officially. Its control over security and the electoral bureaucracy gives it tools. But the fear is that the longer it resists, the more legitimacy it cedes. The regime existential calculus is war on two fronts. War on two fronts. A key risk, and one that the regime seems to sense, is that it might be drawn into a two-front conflict. For nearly a decade, Cameroon has been locked in the Ambazonian conflict in the southwest and northwest. If a full-blown uprising or another insurgency emerges in the north simultaneously, can the state, can the regime, can its army hold both fronts? That's a big question. Currently, multiple reports suggest that troops are being reallocated from Ambazonia to northern regions. That is not just a tactical repositioning, it is a confession of limited flexibility on the part of the regime in Yaoundé. If the regime must fight both a war with separatists, as they call it in Ambazonia, and a legitimacy crisis in the north, the strain could be overwhelming for that nation. Issa Chiroma and his team know this. They are counting on popular mobilization to overextend regime forces. If Yaoundé is planning a crackdown, it must now face the prospect that the north is no longer silent terrain. The regime's military capacity may falter if forced to respond to the mass civilian unrest in multiple regions. One thing is becoming clear. The regime's leverage is weakening. Even if it tries to coerce, manipulate, and delay, the saturation of dissent is rising. The only hope for it may be to fracture the opposition, to isolate Chiroma, or to force a negotiated transition that spares the elite. But that gamble is itself destabilizing. The popular mood, refusal to accept anything less. That is what is out there. Above all, the most potent dynamic in this moment is popular reserve. Across towns, villages, cities, schools, markets, and neighborhoods, people are talking. They believe the evidence is overwhelming that Isa Chiroma won the election. That belief is fed by tallies from polling stations, social media compilations of local results, videos from polling stations, and the fact that much of the regime's counterclaims depend on impossible rural totals and tied exceptions that strain plausibility. The regime's playbook, that is, claim isolated irregularities, pour doubt, then proclaim victory through secret channels, is understood now and being resisted. It is being resisted. What is striking is a shift in civic posture. People are not waiting. They are challenging. They are taking to the streets, blocking roads, pressuring local officials, demanding access to resort protocols. That posture suggests that a proclamation of Biya without conclusive proof will trigger wider unrest in that country. The regime's most potent tool was fear of force, arrest, shutdown. But that tool is framed in places. The North, which once yielded easily, is now a mobilized bulwark. Douala, which once muted itself, is now loud and visible. Even in smaller urban centers and rural towns, citizen energy is leaning towards confrontation rather than passive resignation. Yes, the regime can still use violence, but doing so carries a cost. Diplomatic backlash, internal fractures among security forces, risk of defections, and a legitimacy drag that might be self-subverting. So the answer increasingly is that no matter how heavy the rigging, no matter how rigorous the militarization, no matter how many official manipulations are attempted out there, the prevailing sentiment is that the current regime, the Paul Biya's 42 years regime, will cave or fracture because the population, the people simply will not accept any result other than the one declaring Isa Chiroma the victor. This is not just an election. It is a collision between a reform from above gambit, represented by Biya's decades of control, and a powerful, spontaneous demand for change from below. In 2025, the regime finds itself squeezed between the inertia of its institutions and the velocity of popular uprising. And that is my monologue, ladies and gentlemen. Now, let me take you to my guest for tonight. Eric Chinger is joining me again from London. Eric, it's a pleasure to have you, sir.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you.
All right. I'm sure you've listened to my long monologue out there, sometimes messed up with the teleprompter, but I tried to get it as good as I could. So much is going on the ground at this moment. And you have the forces in Yaoundé led by Paul Atanganji. He is essentially the hangman of in that part of the country. Threats every day directed to Issa Chiroma and saying to him, you dare not continue to declare yourself the victor, and you dare not continue to say that elections are rigged until Elecam or the Constitutional Council says so. But he turns around and they go behind, they put out secret results that show Paul Biya as winner. What is Issa Chiroma's campaign going to do about this?
Chris, I think, the campaign is counting on the force of truth on the one hand. I believe, Issa Chiroma is the third president of Cameroon. There's, the facts are there in terms of the numbers. This is a democracy, or at least a semblance of one. So the force of truth coming out.
I think I lost you. I can't hear you. Oh, we lost Eric there. I hope that you will be able to log back in and join the broadcast. Let's see if you can log back in and join the broadcast. But ladies and gentlemen, you listen to my long monologue. That is exactly the picture that is on the ground. La République du Cameroon feels that they can, while sending out warnings to Issa Chiroma's camp and Cameroonians, asking them to stay quiet, remain quiet, say nothing, don't declare yourself the leader, the victor of the election. They hope that by doing so, they puncture any effort on the side of Issa Chiroma's camp from continuing to project himself as the winner of that election. At the same time, Paul Atanganji is discreetly putting out results that show Issa Chiroma as the winner. Hello.
Yes. Hello?
Hello, Emi.
How are you doing, Chris?
I am doing excellent, sir. How are you doing?
Have you heard a new message or not there? How is station there in the United States?
I'm sorry?
Do you have a good news or bad news there in the United States? How?
I expect to hear good news or bad news from you, who is at the center of the universe now. Yaoundé or Cameroon is the center of the universe now.
Yes. No. Well, you know that you can give me you have a possibility to give me good information too, because you get a boy on the ground. You know that your boys have some information that I don't have.
Emir, you sit on information in set Yaoundé, and you should have. I mean, you are the secret agent of La République who knows what is going to happen where at any time on any day.
I have taken my retirement at Chris Arno.
Oh, you have retired?
Yes. I'm not about it. I have taken my retirement. 6 months today.
So for how long have you been retired now?
6 months. 6 months.
6 months?
Yes, in April.
So, Emil, tell me, while you were still in service, you were accused of torturing people. In fact, there is this guy in the...
I am very professional guy. All people know that I'm a big professional, big professional. I'm able, if you want introduce a complaint against me, and then I will be on the court and show that I am a big professional.
So you mean that people like Abdul Karim, who said you tortured them, were lying?
No, but let me tell you something. When Abdul Karim is in prison, I have not met Abdul Karim. Abdul Karim was arrested by gendarmerie in Bamenda and bring here in said. He was not in my union, in my formation. No. He cannot say it. No.
But you were in control of SAD.
No, I was in control in Ministry of Defense. Fact. I'm a big professional. I cannot arrest people and let people spend more at 28 hours in my cells. I will make all dossier and send it to the court. All over people know me. I'm respecting law. No.
So, Emir, tell me, let's talk about what is going on there now in Cameroon, talking about the elections.
Yes.
Why is Cameroon shifting, relocating the army to the north? What are they afraid of?
Well, I don't know why. It's to prevent manifestation or the other, I think.
How do you, what do you make of the results coming out from there?
I think that is to prevent only a trouble or some manifestation and so on. No.
Oh, to prevent trouble and manifestation?
Yes.
That will be very interesting. So where are you based now? Are you in Yaoundé or where are you?
I'm based in Yaoundé. I'm sometimes in Yaoundé. I'm in Paris. I'm in Douala. I'm in Yaoundé, where I have my... You know that I have oil company.
You have oil company?
Yes, I have oil company.
You avoid company or you have many company?
I have oil. I am owner of oil company.
Oh, you're owner of oil company?
Yes.
How did, tell me, how did a simple director of SET Yaoundé becomes an owner of an oil company?
Good question, Mr. Arno. Many people are asking me this question. Let me tell you something. You know that when I was young in Douala, they told me to leave army. I left army 3 years and I was out. And then when the new commander of Janame come, he called me back. General Elokobi, he called me back. And during the 3 years when I was in civil life, I get many relations with my friends. I get vehicle location company. I was doing it, and today, at least 11 years today, I built my first station, oil station, and now I own at least 15.
So where did you get the money to? So where did you get the money in me to build oil stations?
No, I have money because I invest money in the thing that I'm doing. Oil station is giving me money, and I take credit in bank, and now I'm a big company owner. I'm importing oil from United States, from Russia, and so on, selling.
So where are these companies based? Where, in Cameroon?
In Cameroon, in Central Africa, in Europe, and so on. This is why I'm always in Switzerland and so on.
So are you very worried that a new regime, a new leadership in Cameroon can audit you?
No, I don't know. Please, I'm a businessman. I don't know. I want only peace. If there is a peace, for me, it's no problem.
So you are not worried that a new regime in Cameroon can audit you?
Why?
Because I think everybody will be surprised that you have so many, for a simple soldier to have oil companies around the place.
Let me tell you something. You know that if you are feeling things, I'm not feeling, because I'm sure of what I have done to be on the place now where I am. Do you understand?
Yes.
Why? This is why I'm not feeling. I cannot feel a new regime now.
I see.
As Mr. Chiroma said last time, you are his best friend. He too is my best friend.
Oh, for real? That's interesting. I see. So you didn't eat your own money, Ali. You shared your part of the loot, I guess, with Issa.
No, it's only my friend. As you know, you are my friend. Like Issa Chiroma is your friend, no?
Okay, so between Paul Biya and Issa Chiroma, would you like Paul Biya? I mean, look at the age, how old Biya is. Do you really want him to stay?
No, don't ask me. He's got here. I've given him. You are a pastor. You, Christian, you know Bible. Bible says that power comes from God. And now, when God will take the power, you will see. No, Bishop, what God will tell Polga, no, now is enough. Enough is enough. And then you will see. He want to give it to Isa Chiroma. No way.
Oh, so you really think that Bia is is ready to walk away and say enough is enough, as you say?
No, I'm not saying it now. I say that it's God who give him power. And now, when God will draw power, he will do. We are waiting only.
All right. Emil, listen, I am, my hands are a little full here. We will talk later.
Okay.
Thank you.
After.
All right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Emil Bankwe. He called into the show. He doesn't know that he is live with me. I just decided to pick the call live because he's been dodging every call of mine. He didn't know that I am live and he is speaking live on television. He will be shocked to hear that. But let me bring back Eric here. You listen to that, Eric? That is Emil Bankwe, the torturer in said Yaoundé, the killer in said Yaoundé. What do you make of him saying the things that he said?
You know, I am blown away, literally. I mean, and again, this is the problem of that regime, that low-level servants of the republic will end up as multimillionaires.
Yeah.
When amongst 30, you know, there are a handful of people in a crowd of 30 million, in a population of 30 million, a handful have found a way to monopolize all of the resources of the Commonwealth. And 90% of the people are in dire poverty. I just don't get it. And that's, you've just exposed one of them.
Yeah.
You know, this guy who recently left that regime a few months ago on retirement, and he retires with oil companies.
With oil companies? With oil? Tell me, which civil servant in Cameroon can retire with oil companies, not just in Africa, in France?
Yes, yes. And he's not alone. I've been told of companies that have come to that country to mine everything from bauxite to manganese to iron ore. I've been told about all of these companies coming, and and almost the first stop is the office of some senior official who wants 5% of the investment capital. 5%. Has not, and then they'll negotiate any deal with that company. This is the tragedy of our times. Go on. Oil is not only the oil he's talking about. It's not only the oil from Dian. It's not only oil resources from offshore resources outside of Limbe.
Right.
It's oil resources from across that country. It's other resources from across that country. And if he can have it, think about all the handful of others. And we're not talking about 1% of the population.
Right.
Actually, 0.01%. Who can have that kind of access.
Right.
And all of that money is abroad. There's very little. They can't even have it in the country because they'll be exposed. And this is the tragedy of our times. This is the tragedy of Africa, not only Cameroon.
It's a big tragedy. It's a big tragedy that somebody,
and that's why people are fighting for change. Yeah.
A common soldier retires and has oil companies all over the place. Well, let's get back to the discussion we had before your camera was disrupted. Let's talk about what is going on the ground now. The tensions, the pressures on the regime to yield. Do you see Issa Chiroma fighting this to the end? And do you see Cameroonians standing up for once to eject this Biya regime?
Yes, first of all, it's not Issa Chiroma's war. It's the people of Cameroon. It's the electors, it's the voters. It's their war. Issa Chiroma is a leader in that battle. That's all he is. But a leader does not go to war alone. So what we fully expect is that if this must be transformed into an outright battle for power, so be it. But we hope that it will be settled through institutional means. So ELECAM and the Constitutional Council would put Cameroon over their individual interests. There's nobody in that country who does not know that Mr. Issa Chiroma was the surprise of these elections. They didn't see it coming. The regime had always felt that if they didn't act, Maurice Kamto would be president of Cameroon. So they felt it was in their interest to get rid of Maurice Kamto, and they broke the law in the process of getting rid of Maurice Kamto. They broke the law. But people were willing to forgive them because there were 12 or 11 other candidates approved to stand against Mr. Biya. 11. Down the road, 2 resigned, 2 decided not to go, pursue their electoral desires to the end.
Yeah.
Mr. Akeremona pulled out of the race, and Mr. Ateki Caxton pulled out of the race. So we had 9 others competing against Mr. Biya, and again, the population was willing to let go. Then, of course, Mr. Issa Chiroma emerged, and they thought, okay, well, he can't perform to the level of Kamto. So there was no, and then they knew that he also had Buba Bello in the north, and the strategy was, let's just make sure the 2 do not come together. So whatever happened in Cameroon, the government just focused on making sure there were no coalitions.
Right.
That was its only strategy. It could not imagine that without a coalition, any single candidate will come out of the lot and be in a position to throw out the CPDM. That's exactly what happened. So Mr. Chiroma, in my view, won fair and square. But
The Union for Change coalition was made up of who and who?
Well, the Union for Change, this is interesting. That's a good question. The Union for Change was made up of a lot of parties that were not retained to run for president. There were 83 candidates, but there were over 100. There were over 100, maybe 150, maybe more than that, who actually had put in their candidacies. And then, of course, ELECAM winnowed that down to 83. And then from the 83 that were accepted as potential, so 12 candidates were announced.
Now, I realized that Cabra Libi did not join the coalition, the Union for Change. Neither did, of course, Akeremona was with Buba Bello. And then you also had the Adamo Ndamjoya's wife coalition. On the eve of the election, I think 7 of them decamped to endorse Issa Chiroma. Have all these, with the exception?
That's not correct.
Okay.
None of the declared candidates decamped to support Issa. The
Okay.
Union for Change was comprised of candidates that had not been retained to run by Elekam.
Oh,
So
I
they
get
came
it.
together. Yes, and that's who supported Issa Chiroma. And the government was not interested in that. They continued to focus on the 9 others who remained. The 9 after Muna and Ateki resigned. So they focused on the 9 others who remained, trying to make sure none of them would come together in a coalition. That was the only strategy it had. It did not take into account what technology.
I think we lost Eric in that image. I don't know who is in the background there, but we lost Eric, and I believe he will reconnect. He will reconnect. All right. Let me, while we wait for Eric to...
Oh, okay, we're back.
Oh, you're back. Great. As somebody suddenly appeared on your camera.
I don't know. Maybe it's your.
No. Somebody show up on your camera, actually. I don't know how. I hope you are not being tapped.
They may be. I don't put anything past the regime in Yaoundé. They must have put a lot of resources into monitoring your work.
I'm telling you, the people out there definitely saw that person.
Well,
somebody show up on your camera.
I do not put it. I'm alone in this makeshift studio.
Are you serious?
Yes, there's nobody around here. I'm alone.
After the broadcast, just go on back on YouTube, scroll back to that point, you will see that face. Yeah. Somebody show up on your camera.
I wouldn't know who it is. But again, as I say, I do not put it past the regime in Yaoundé, who's monitoring. They obviously monitor Chris, and manipulation could have done what they did. And then, of course, my coming on does not please a lot of people.
Interesting.
So that's where we are.
So has Buba Bello formally communicated with Issa Chiroma since the election?
I don't know for sure. I know that the letters, there are a couple of letters actually on the web, which one has been debunked. It's not clearly not from Bello, even though it was signed by Bello's campaign director, Mr. The Senator Ngaya.
Yeah.
But a more authentic letter.
I guess Eric is frozen again. He is frozen. While he reconnects, let me bring in the Honorable Chris Ajua, who is...
we're back again.
Oh, you're back again. Wow.
Did you see... You didn't see this figure?
No, I didn't see that face this time. I didn't see it. Well, I guess something is wrong with your network out there. So you were talking about Buba Bello not formally contacting Issa Chiroma. Oh, I guess you are frozen again. Okay. Somebody is confirming it here. Say, Comrade Chris, you are right. I also saw the person putting on eyeglasses.
Okay. Yeah.
So, so somebody is confirming what I just told you. Comrade Chris, you are right. I also saw the person putting on eyeglasses. Yeah. Eric is having a very difficult time with the connection there. I guess the network or whatever it is a big problem. Let's wait and see. Let me bring in Chris Ajua, chair of the Restoration Council of Ambassador, to give us his take on what he has been watching in La République du Cameroon all this while of elections, Honorable Chris. Your microphone is not turned on. Something is not right today. No, I cannot hear you. Your microphone is not on. I cannot hear you. I see you. I cannot hear you. Log out and log back in, sir. Log out and log back in. That may be the solution. In the meantime, Eric Chinger is still frozen.
When you can hear me, let me know.
Okay, perfect. I hear you now. Okay, give us your take with what is happening in La République du Cameroon, sir.
Yes, Comrade Chris, I will start by saying that your friend Emi Bankui, I don't know whether he knew you were coming online at that time when he called. But
He didn't know. He didn't know that I was live. He incidentally called and didn't know I was live.
Well,
and he
yes.
will be shocked to realize that I was live.
And he has spilled the beans. Now we know he's an oil broker, an oil trader, and all that stuff. So where did the money come from for him to run the business?
Right.
You can understand that. He didn't acquire the money to start after he retired from the government.
Right.
Into the topic when he said something about God and leaders, or God and rulers. This is a situation where extreme religion, or extremists of religion, or what some people will call Christian nationalists, if they are Christians, they misuse religion, and they say stuff like leaders are appointed by God. Now, are they saying that when leaders commit crimes such as genocide against people, or a particular race or ethnic group, or they commit other crimes against humanity, such as scorched earth policies, putting people in prison, innocent people in prison and keeping them there for many years without trial, stuff like that, murdering people, killing journalists, stopping dissent at all cost. Did God put them there for that reason? People should not. I don't think people should be abusing religion in that manner. So that is where I would start by looking at this. But we know that the election in La République du Cameroon can never be fair and can never be free, or as they say, free and fair, but that can never happen in La République. We also know that the Biya regime has always been in power, and the only thing that they do, and they spend their time doing, calculating, holding meetings, 75% to 90% of their time is spent on calculating how they are going to maintain power. That's all they do. Whether it is their party, whether it is their surrogates or sycophants, whether it is business people that pay allegiance to them just so they can benefit from the regime somehow. That is just all that's all they do. Because if you look around the country and you say, point to something that this government has done for the people, that all the people of La République du Cameroon can say, yes, we had a good leader, this is what he achieved, this is what he's achieved, and enumerate them. There's nothing. All they do is wait until it's that election time. They start playing games. They twist the laws to suit them. They forget that what is that they say what is good for the gander is also good for the goose. They forget that, and the same laws that they make, they break the laws. They say, for example, you cannot declare yourself a winner, but at the same time they themselves are publishing stuff that are pro regime and pro their candidate. That you cannot have your cake and then eat it. That's exactly what is going on. Those are some of my comments I will make at this time. As we go on, we'll expand on this a little bit more. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Let me bring back Eric there to continue with the point he was trying to make on what the opposition leaders in the country, in Cameroon, are doing. We were on the subject of Bello Buba, whether he has made formal contact with Issa Chiruma to congratulate him or at least acknowledge that he won the day. I think Eric is frozen again. Eric is frozen again. Well, let's hope that he gets reconnected. Honorable Chris, let me turn back to you. You have heard Issa Chiruma promising. Okay, let's
Can
see.
you hear me?
Let's see if Eric. We don't know.
Eric,
Something is wrong on your side with the network there. We don't know what is the mom. Okay, it's frozen again. It's frozen again. All right. So, Honorable Chris, let me come back to you. You have heard the responses of Issa Chiroma.
I've opened the. I've
Yes,
opened.
you are.
So, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can hear you. Just centralize yourself in camera. Balance yourself. Centralize your image in camera. It's frozen. It's okay. That looks good. I hope this works this time.
I hope so.
Yeah, I get it. It seems like a network problem over there. I don't know. But you are in London. I don't know why you should have any network problem.
In Wales, but I have a strong feeling. Look. I think the mistake may have come from me because I shared the link. I shared it with one of my networks because I wanted people to follow this. So I've been advised that could have been the problem. I don't know.
All right. So tell us, is
Yes.
Bello Buba reaching out to Issa Chiroma?
Not in the way he should. I think Mr. Bello, for the statesman he is, ought to recognize the clear victory. I mean, we know that the Constitutional Council in Cameroon has shown its ability to go illegal. We know that. It did in the case with Kamto as a candidate, and it will not hesitate to do it again. So I think if we are going to, if the public and Mr. Bello in
Well, that's a problem. That's a problem. Eric is again frozen. I guess this is one of those days. But let me turn to Honorable Chris out there. Please tell us, give us your thought on what Issa Chiroma is saying out there about resolving the conflict in Ambazonia. What do you look forward to? What is going to be satisfying to you to say, okay, he is serious?
To start with, Comrade Chris, I would at least give him the credit and say, you can even call it a thank you to him for being very bold and coming out up front and bringing the issue of the conflict between Ambazonia, the former British Southern Cameroons, and La République du Cameroon. So in a way, he has acknowledged openly to the world, international community, to the people of La République du Cameroon and Ambazonians that a problem exists. He even, as you already know, he even apologized for either for apologizing for himself or for his country, things that have happened. We know a lot of people have died because of this war that was declared on us on the 30th of November 2017. Many people have died on both sides, very unnecessary war. This problem could have been solved a long time ago when it just started if only La République du Cameroon had decided or agreed to sit down and dialogue earnestly. We're talking about negotiations or dialogue without preconditions, as were being suggested even by the international community. But they did not agree with that. So Mr. Issa Chiroma Bakari coming out and apologizing and saying that the conflict is going to be sort of like put on the front burner of his policy. It's a very, very good start. The area that I personally I personally don't agree is La République keep their eye on the resources of Ambazonia. And if you listen to what he said, he wants the resources of, call it a federated country, which of course no agreement has been done on that yet. He wants the resources to be for the whole country. My view is, our view is that La République du Cameroon does not need Ambazonia. Why do they need Ambazonia in a federation or a confederation? They can take care of themselves, and Ambazonians can take care of themselves. I'm not going to jump the gun here and start negotiating or saying stuff, but we are ready. Ambazonians are ready for serious negotiations coming to the table. There is no conflict that has ever ended without negotiations. It doesn't matter any kind of war or conflict you have looked at. It was always resolved by negotiating. But if we have to negotiate with La République, we have to negotiate in good faith. No tricks, no more Fumban conference situations, no more a repeat of some people will say, well, when they ask the question, what happened to the first federation? Because you go that route and it doesn't work, they will say, oh, they deceived you the first time. Now they are deceiving you again the second time. That would be like essentially postponing the war. So we have to think about this very, very carefully before we engage with La République du Cameroon in any negotiations, whether it's a temporary confederation and then a referendum down the line, whatever. But Ambazonians have to sit up and think about this very, very seriously before they get involved with La République du Cameroon. We have to think about also things that have happened in the past, not too long ago, the Swiss conference, the one about Canada. Where did it go? The so-called grand dialogue or general dialogue, the one that they had, and it failed woefully. So we have to be very, very careful when we engage with La République du Cameroon. They have to be seen. If we have to we get involved with them in any negotiations, we have to be very, very careful and know what we are doing. If not, we are going to end up in another disaster.
Or as part of his suggestions. He is talking about gathering experts and sitting them on the table and resolving the political issues. He's also talking about a referendum. One of the fears out there is that Chiroma may go to jail, talk to Ambazonia political prisoners, try to broker a deal with them, and then release them. When they come out, they have different opinion, and those of us who stand out here fighting for independence have different opinion. Should those prisoners not be released unconditionally? I think that's what I will push for. If they have to be released, they should be released unconditionally, so that we can then sit down and decide what we want and present to the Chiroma government.
That is correct, Comrade Chris. It has to be unconditional, and even you already know that there are some people talking about amnesty. You give amnesty to somebody who has committed a crime. What have those Ambazonians that are in prison? They are all prisoners of conscience. There is nothing they have done that is wrong. They are fighting for self-determination, which is part of the human rights. It's in part of international law. Right now, the war is going on, and it's a war of self-defense. Ambazonians, Southern Cameroonians are defending themselves. They are defending their country. They are defending their families. So, like I said, there is no law against self-defense. So, even talking about releasing the prisoners, to me, nobody should even mention an amnesty, because they didn't do anything wrong. You used a very good phrase right there, being released without condition. That is how it should work. Release without condition. Did we lose the signal or something? Comrade Chris. Comrade Chris, did we lose the signal?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
For a moment there, I thought we lost the signal.
Okay, no, I can hear you. All right, let's get to Eric. He is back, and I hope that he is back for good at this time. Good to have you back, sir.
Thank you. Sorry about it.
All right, no, it's okay. It happens.
Technology does that sometimes. We have to just
it happens sometimes, yes. So
I'm using a different source now. Hope
I
this
can
works.
see the image looks a little different now. Yeah. So tell me, Eric, we were talking about Issa Chiroma's promise to free Ambazonian political prisoners. If you can bend your camera a little bit, please. Yeah, Issa Chiroma is talking about freeing Ambazonian prisoners, and he mentioned in an interview of doing so. I don't know, in the conversation with Agwobala, actually, about doing so within the first 3 months of his presidency. And we are wondering, why should it take him 3 months to release political prisoners? Should he not release them within a week of taking over? I actually heard Rebecca Inonchong share the same idea. They should be released on day number 1 without any conditions, isn't it?
I absolutely agree, and I don't think it'll take 3 months. I'm almost certain that within his first month in office, obviously, there's a lot of cleaning up to do, but as soon as he can get to it, and my hope is in a week, in 2 weeks, it should not even take that long, really.
Right.
You know, these guys should not be where they are. The only reason they're where they are is because we have a regime that is totally unwilling to engage in any reasonable discussions. So the first thing should happen, I think, within a week, and I can almost, because I know Mr. Chiroma well, can almost guarantee this. Within a week, they'll move out of where they are, which is jail, to a home. They'll be held in a home, pretty much along the same lines of what happened to Mandela. when he left Robben Island. And then the negotiations can start from there. That's
Why
what
should
I
they
think.
hold on there? Why should they be removed in Yaoundé and held in their home close to the prison yard? Why should they not be allowed to go back if we all agree that these people committed no crime?
Yes, I'm not saying look, I'm giving you my best understanding of what could possibly happen. They will not be held in a home next to the prison. The home could be their own very homes. Ayuk Tabe will go to his house if his house is still in Yaoundé, whilst the paperwork, because there is paperwork involved, is dealt with, and the conditions for the necessary discussions that must take place are put in place. I think this is going to happen, and it's not going to happen in 3 months. No, I don't think so. Chris, one of the things, I don't want to go back to the past, it doesn't help, but it's important to know that the Amazonian leadership has a problem of strategy. It's important to know that. When I told you and others, including Ayuk Tabe, that we should, it was important to call for a truce in the day before, the day during, and the day after the election. The reason was precisely because I knew that this government, this regime in place, will exploit the situation, frighten people from voting, and then fill up ballot boxes with Mr. Bia's ballot. And proof of it, he's winning everywhere in the 2 regions, everywhere. Even in places where there are no people. They tell us they have 140 voters, and then they end up with 3,000 people who voted for Mr. Bia.
Exactly. But that is exactly the point we were making. That whether we vote or we don't vote, he will come out with good figures that show him taking all the votes. We are told that in villages, in towns where the population do not even exist to the number of registered voters, they inflate them and they give them all to him. But that is the point we made, that it doesn't make sense.
No, but the reason they did was because people didn't go out to vote. Had that announcement been made and Amazonians reassured that they could go vote, those who had voting cards, there was no way they could have used what they're using now.
Well, I don't think that argument holds, because that is happening everywhere, even in La République du Cameroon, where people were allowed to go out and vote. The thing happened. So I think I lost Eric again.
And by the way,
here.
by the way,
okay.
Chris.
Yes. Yes, Chris,
I was just going to add that how can we Ambazonians, former British Southern Cameroonians, say that we want our sovereignty back? We had declared our independence. We have demarcated borders from La République du Cameroon since independence. How can we say that and then we even think about allowing their elections to take place on our territory? That doesn't make sense.
There's nothing you can do about it. This is your problem with strategy. You're talking about what people have voted. Whether you like it or not, they did vote, right? So you've got to be strategic in your thinking.
No.
Well, so you see it, but people voted, sir. Whether you like it or not, they voted. They all of the people
because of intimidation. That's all they
no. All of the no. Only those with voting cards. So they deliberately went and got their voting cards. That's the point.
Everybody, you are making the point. You are making the point we made from day number 1 that it doesn't
remember
make
that
any sense.
On that territory, it's not only indigenous Ambazonians who live in Ambazonia. You have people that have come from other provinces, other ethnic groups who are pro regime, and for them voting doesn't mean anything. They can do it. Doesn't mean that those are Ambazonians who are willing to vote.
All I was saying was you take away the only the power to fabricate results. You would have taken that away from the Ministry of Territorial Administration, from Mr. Tangenji. You didn't.
Let me, Eric, do you have any doubt?
Eric, has there ever been an election where that La Republique has not frauded, has not used fraud in order to gain votes or to win the election? Has there ever been?
They always have, but you don't give them any more reasons than they need.
Even this one that we are talking about, we don't know how it's going to turn out. The Constitutional Council, the so-called which is nothing but the kangaroo Constitutional Council, and of course, by extension, a kangaroo Supreme Court. They may decide to say Bia won again, even if the tallies show that
they will.
Issa Chiroma won.
Let me ask Eric, do you have any doubt?
Yeah.
Because I have followed up elections in Bamenda, and I know the battle that is going on in Bamenda as we speak over Elekam certifying certain results. Elekam officials there are saying they are under severe pressure from Yaoundé to say that Bia won in Bamenda, and there's a fight over it. But my point is, do you have any doubt, Eric, that the majority of the vote cast in all of the southern Cameroons went to Issa Chiroma? Do you have any doubt about that?
I have no doubt about that. I have no doubt that the vast majority of those votes went to Issa Chiroma. Not an iota of doubt.
So the point is, now Issa Chiroma was voted, but the CBDM is claiming everything and even inflating those numbers, which is one of the arguments we made. What difference would it make? We vote, he wins. We don't vote, he wins. So
yes, what they used was the fact that people were afraid to go and vote. There was you declared a lockdown, so they just used that. A handful of people went, and then they could. Look, they're trying the same tactic across the country.
Yeah.
But they did not have the argument they had in the Northwest and the Southwest regions.
Well, I think our decision was strategic. We have no regrets about it at all, because
I think you should have looked at a candidate you can negotiate with. That's what we're talking about.
I have no doubt. You put Paul Biya and Chiroma side by side. I will pick Chiroma because I know I can negotiate with Chiroma. But we'll wait for that moment to come. We'll wait for that moment. Voting him again doesn't guarantee any victory. He has won. Everybody says he has won. Put Ambazonia away. Everybody agrees he has won. Let's get him there. Let's get him there. We can sit down with him and talk. That is our point. But let's get back to what lies ahead. Maybe in a week's time, the Constitutional Council will be declaring the winner officially of this election. Is Issa Chiroma ready to defend the vote this time? This is very important because in the 90s, we knew that Frundi won. It was another moment like this where the momentum was huge, you know that. But Frundi said he doesn't want to shed blood. He doesn't want to disturb the peace of the country. He didn't fight. The same thing 2018 with Maurice Kamto. Is Issa Chiroma determined to fight as we see that the people out there, the people determined to fight? Eric? Oh my, Eric is having a very bad day with his connection today. But let me turn that question to Chris Ajua, if he can attempt it. You think that Issa Chiroma is ready, as the people on the ground are ready to defend his victory?
Comrade Chris, going by what Mr. Issa Chiroma himself has said, he is ready to defend his victory. They're ready to defend his victory. We have seen what is happening all over the country, the support that he is getting. We have seen the intimidation that even before the results have been declared. We have seen what is happening, but especially in the far north and the other regions of La République du Cameroon. I'm talking about the violence between the military and the civilians. The civilians using brute force against. The military using brute force against civilians, and the burning of their military trucks and stuff like that. What I think the Biya regime is really should think about it seriously and be scared of is that if this thing goes out of hand and it turns out to be an armed conflict, the consequences can be really dire for La République du Cameroon. As you mentioned earlier in your monologue, it looks like there are even troops being dispatched or moved from Amazonian territory towards the northern part of La République du Cameroon. So, and if that happens, and there is a conflict against civilians, or they start fighting with civilians, and that spreads throughout the country to big cities like Douala and Yaoundé, and many other places like Bafoussam. So where is La République going to end up? They might end up having a civil war in their hands. And we should also know that whatever happens on that side of the country, because we are fighting them, is also going to affect Ambazonia, the former British Southern Cameroons. That is how I look at the possibility of escalation of violence.
In the Douala today, we saw crowds of young men taking to the street to pull down images of Paul Biya, again demonstrating defiance against the regime. Do you see more of that happening in the days ahead?
Yes, I think so. And as we get closer and closer to the date that they are going to release the results officially, and of course that day is going to be the main defining day. Call it a D-Day for La République du Cameroon, and things might either go totally down the drain, or depending on whether the results come out and the dictator goes on TV and congratulates Mr. Chiroma for his victory and peacefully steps down, or if the CPDM and their clique become recalcitrant and they want to plunge the country into a civil war. That is their piece of cake. Let them decide what they want to do. But as some Ambazonians, we will continue. We are not putting down our weapons. We are fighting for our freedom, and we'll continue along those lines until Ambazonia is free. Thank you.
So the question out there for Ambazonians is, what is? I mean, are they ready? Are they ready to negotiate with Issa Chiroma?
Yeah, Comrade Chris, I think Ambazonians are ready at any time to negotiate with the supposed winner of La République du Cameroon a presidential election, Mr. Issa Chiroma. I think we are ready. It's a matter of working with the right international organizations, international bodies, nations that can guarantee peaceful negotiations. There is, like I said earlier, there has never been any conflict that was resolved or any war that ended without negotiations. Ambazonians are ready, as long as the procedure is followed correctly, and they call it the atmosphere is conducive to those negotiations.
You know that Issa Chiroma is saying Cameroon is indivisible, right?
Exactly. That is one of the points that I was making earlier when I mentioned that La République du Cameroun can exist on their own, and Ambazonia can exist on its own. Why do they keep stressing this point that Ambazonia must be part of whatever, whether it's a federation or a confederation? Why should that happen? And their eye is always on Ambazonian resources. And what for since 1961 until date, we are now in 2025. What has Ambazonians benefited from their natural resources, both the soil and in the ground? What have they benefited? Nothing. So what is the use of having a federation or a confederation with people that don't even take you for anything? Why should we do that? I mean, if people are in their right senses, why would they even do stuff like that?
Well, let's get Eric back in and get his point on this. You are really having a bad day out there with your connection. I hope it gets better. But we are talking about Issa's Chiroma's promise to not to divide Cameroon, and yet you have the Ambazonians like me who are saying that time we live with Cameroon is over. We want our own country going by the history that you know. How can Issa Chiroma persuade people like us to say, okay, let's believe in Cameroon one more time? What? Tell me, because I know you speak the same language with him, even though you are Ambazonian. Tell me how far he has to go, because he's not going to come and tell us this is what I want. As this war will just continue.
Let me say this, Chris. Mr. Chiroma, as much as I want to resolve that problem, it's a priority. And there are many ways to skin the cat, right?
Yeah.
What I know he wants to put on the table, the first thing, to bring all the parties together for a conference to determine the way forward. He'll pull everybody together. It's not everybody who wants that. There are folks in what was Southern Cameroon or West Cameroon, or now the Northwest region and the Southwest region. There are folks in
Ambazonia.
Ambazonia. There are folks in Ambazonia.
We call it the Northern Zone and the Southern Zone.
Right, Northern Zone, Southern Zone. What's in the name? You know, it's all semantic.
There is something.
As you wish. I mean, that's fine, totally fine. Ambazonia, that's all right. Let's use Ambazonia so we know exactly what we all are talking about. There are folks in Ambazonia who stand for a federation. There are folks in Ambazonia who stand for an independent state. There are folks in Amazonia who would still go for a united state, for a united nation, country. So we've got opinions that diverge on that piece of territory. You're not the only ones. But you may be right. If there is a referendum, the majority might go for an independent state. But we don't know for sure. So what Mr. Chiroma would do is bring us all around the table, bring out the leaders, those who are in political prison today, and the others, the leaders who are abroad. General amnesty for everybody to be able to fly in, protected. If they need protection from the UN or any other organization, the African Union, that will be provided. But I can guarantee you that Mr. Chiroma wants to resolve this problem. And if we are interested in a true solution, a lasting solution, we will all allow ourselves to sit around that table with an open mind. And if it's going to be addressed through a referendum, so be it. But it will emerge, it will be an agreement that allows that part of the country to move forward economically, in its educational systems, and so on. So we're back, would have hopefully tried to erase the tragedy of the last decade, nearly 10 years. That's what matters the most. And I happen to be close enough to Mr. Chiroma to know what his thinking is on the situation.
Eric, the problem that many of us have is when they talk about a conference like the Grand National Dialogue that you and I know, they go there to talk about,
I think it was.
They go there to talk about Cameroon problems, not Anglophone in their own terminology problem. We are looking for, if he calls it
that's what they're talking about,
fine.
Chris. No, that's what they're talking about. That's what they're talking about.
So
they're talking about the problems of Amazonia, or the problems of West Cameroon, or the problem of Southern Cameroon, or the problem of the Northern Zone and the Southern Zone, or whatever you call it. That's what they're talking about. They're talking about people. It's not about ideas. It's not about concepts. It's about human beings, children who have to go to school.
In your own preference, Eric, would you say to Issa Chiroma, as a federalist that you are, that you would prefer...
I've never said I'm a federalist.
Okay, my words then. Would you say to him, I know you don't want a divided Cameroon, as you call it, but how about we go back to where we were?
I've never told you that either.
No, I'm asking whether you will take that to him and say, Mr. Chiroma, you know that Anglophones have a unique culture, a unique heritage, a unique way in which they do everything. When we came together in 1961, that is what it was. Can we go back there? I mean, at least I'm kind of being the devil's advocate for those who are advocating for one Cameroon.
Sure. I will not seek to impose my views. I will encourage Mr. Chiroma to do two things. One, bring all stakeholders together around the table and open with a clean slate. No predetermined solutions. Let's sit around a table and discuss options. If one option is a referendum, let's have that. If there are other ideas around the table that make sense, let's go there. The important thing is, coming out of this initiative, let there not be one soldier on that territory with armed to kill. Not one child on that territory should be killed because of the political views of their elders. So, coming out of that engagement, the war will stop. And
I think we lost him again.
Comrade Chris, it looks like there was another network, some kind of network issue problem right there.
Yes, I think he's having some network issues.
But, give him some time. Give him some time to fix it.
Yes, you go on. You go on while he fixes his end. Let's talk about this. Eric is talking about the Anglophone problem and talking about no one person should be killed or no one person should remain in the bush. I am wondering, If Chiroma is as serious as his supporters want us to believe, shouldn't he, on the first week of taking power, withdraw all French Cameroon troops in Amazonia? What are your
Okay,
thoughts here?
that is a very, very good question. And if you listen to, if you listen to what Eric was saying when he mentioned about not killing one more child or not killing any child, how do you do that? You have to, they have, La République du Cameroon has to withdraw all their forces from Amazonian territory. That in itself should be one of the conditions. I mean, during the negotiations, that is how it can happen. If you have troops that people don't want to be around, and they are mixing up on the streets, interfering with people's lives, it's like you are still back on square one. That is what it would look like. So a total withdrawal of call it foreign forces, which is in this case French Cameroon troops on Amazonian soil, they have to be withdrawn. That already in a way creates an atmosphere conducive to peaceful negotiations going forward from that point on. So that is how it should work. But the real details itself, they call it. Some people say the devil is in the details. That has to be worked. Everything has to be worked up step by step, and agreed upon by both sides. And of course, implementation sometimes is a problem. You may agree on something, but it's not implemented the way it was agreed upon. And that is that if you want to look back, that goes back to even Fumban. We are in this problem right now because of what happened in Fumban. So this second time, we have to be very, very careful, making sure that we do not drop the ball.
I hope indeed the ball is not dropped. Let's open the phone lines and allow callers to chip in their contributions. Unfortunately, the connections have been very troublesome this this evening, but we have to manage and do with that. We're going to open the phone lines. When we open the phone lines, before you call, make sure that the volume of your the volume of your TV set is tuned down before you make your call. That is sometimes the reason why I can't pick your calls, because I pick your calls and I hear your TV in the background and you are not responding to the calls because you are listening to the TV instead of focusing on your phone. So please, before you call, make sure you turn down the volume of your TV and focus on the phone. All right, let's get the phone number on screen, please. All right, there you go. That is the phone number on your screen. So go ahead and call and let's know what is on your mind. Let's know what is on your mind. And while I wait for your phone calls, ladies and gentlemen, I also want to make a very special appeal to all of you out there who watch and love what we do here on ABS. ABS survives, and we're able to do this thanks to some generous men and women who are chipping in to support ABS. We have created 100 People's Club who can chip in just $25. Just $25 a month to keep ABS uninterrupted on satellite. I want to appeal to you, if you want to become a regular supporter, member of that ABC Club, please do text me on the number you find on your screen and let me know, and then we will work with you on how you can register to become a member of that ABS 100. ABS 100. So the phone number is there on your screen. Send me a message. Send me a message that you want to support ABS or be a supporter. We will appreciate that, so we can keep ABS going and we can keep on bringing you this information. Let's get to the phones. Hello, sir.
Yeah, good afternoon, communication.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Sama Thomas from Belgium.
Thomas. Yes.
All right. And what is on your mind, sir?
It's not unfortunate that Eric is having some problems with his internet connection. I would have really loved that Eric should answer this, my worry, which is the worry of all Southern Cameroonians.
All right, hold on. Eric is back. He's listening. Go on.
Okay. What Southern Cameroonians want from anybody from Larfuru, Cameroon, this is Mr. Eric, is not sitting and talking of peace. Where has the word gone from people like Eric? The word justice, where have we kept that word justice? Because what the people of Southern Cameroon want is justice. And if justice is not served on the people of Southern Cameroon, then the problem will never be solved. What we want is justice, and if we are talking about justice, then we must go back to 1961. If we are going back to 1961, it therefore means the people of Southern Cameroon must reassert their independence. When we assert our independence, we can now come back to sit and talk about a confederation with anybody. And it is not anything that can be debated upon, because what we want is justice and not peace. Is Eric ready to tell Mr. Chiruma that the people of Southern Cameroon want nothing but justice?
All right, let him respond. Thank you for the call. Eric, go on, please.
Totally. I mean, I want justice any day, the justice of the Lord. God's own justice. I want that for any human on earth. And even more, my own, the ones that God gave me as my brothers and sisters. I want that justice. And I'll fight for it. That is why I'm saying, if we sit around a table and we agree on the next steps, on what we do as a people, and we found in our human family that one of the ways we address our problems is through what we call democracy. So we let everybody have a voice, and then the majority, they carry the day. That is who we are. That is what we look for. Justice is, I've never stressed that enough. So yes, I agree with my brother, the one who spoke, that justice is what we all want. And let's do what we can to have justice. I don't know what else, how else.
Let me add something to that.
Hold on. Eric, I was asking a question before you were interrupted with your connection. Would Chirima pull out all troops in Ambazonia on the first week of him taking power? Will you advise him pull out all those troops and all those military camps that Biya put up there? Would you?
Absolutely. I can tell you that in 2017, Mr. Biya sent Famendongo to ask me what I thought should be done. First line, pull out the troops. This is not a military, don't militarize my zone. That was the first thing I said. And I'll say that to Mr. Chiroma or anybody else for that matter. Within days of taking office, pull back the troops. Yes, I'll say that. And this will not be an excuse for those with arms to take over the country, to take over the land. No. The reason for pulling out the troops will be to create the necessary environment for tranquil dialogue amongst the people of that land. So we can all look at each other in the face and talk to each other without coercion of any sort. Yes. So I'll do exactly that. Justice, yes. Pull back the troops, yes. I've always insisted on that. Create an environment for children to go to school safely, for people to work safely, yes, all of that. That's what we're looking for.
All right, sounds good. Let's get to this caller here. Hello.
Comrade Chris, can I add something?
Hello.
Yeah, hello. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Where are you calling from, sir?
Yeah, I'm talking from Ganzini.
Okay, what is on your mind?
Yeah, I'm just feeling all right now, so I don't really know like what was the topic all about.
You don't know what the talking is all about?
Yeah, I don't really know what the topic is all about.
So why did you call if you don't know? All right, sit and listen. When you know what we're talking about, you call back, okay? Okay, Chris, go on, please.
Yeah, I would like to add something on what we're discussing, the matter about justice. We cannot have the kind of peace. If you have listened throughout most of the duration of this conflict, Amazonian conflict against La République de Cameroon, they are always promoting the idea of peace, 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 peace. Even are they talking about peace in the grave? Peace in the grave for those that have died. So my view is you cannot have that peace without justice, and true justice comes when people are held accountable for their actions. For all the people that have died on both sides, who is going to account for all those lives lost? Who is going to account for the scorched earth policy? Okay, who is going to account for other crimes against humanity committed? Little children shot in their breasts like baby Martha, grandmothers like Mami Api, old women killed for what? No mercy, just shot and killed like that. And there are thousands and thousands of cases like that. People that are in jail, journalists, prisoners of conscience, all those people in jail. So there is not going to be any justice. I still ask the question, who is going to be held accountable? Is the ICC going to just fold their arms and sit? The AU fold their arms and sit and just watch? The EU fold their arms and sit? The United Nations will just fold their arms and sit and say, okay, Amazonia and French Cameroon, they have peace, and they let all the criminals go free. After World War II, there was a Nuremberg trial for the same reason, for justice. So what is going to be
Houston, Texas. Chris, you hold on there. Chris, hold on, please. Let's get to the next caller here. You calling from where?
Houston, Texas.
All right. What is your contribution, sir?
Yes, Comrade Chris, I want to first of all thank you so very much for all the wonderful fight you've been doing for Amazonia to have their statehood back. And I want to say something to Mr. Eric Chinji, because I've been listening to him and in other broadcasts. He is for federalism. That's what I know. I've been hearing him say that, And I remember I watched.
Can you take that point again? You have been hearing him say what?
I've been hearing him on other broadcasts. He is for federalism.
Okay.
I've been hearing him on other broadcasts. He is for federalism. And there was one thing he said. There was one thing he said. If those who are for independence and if they finally win, then fine. So I heard him say that sometime. Okay. Now, I watched Mr. Eric Chinje, whom I loved so much and I still love and admired, in the days that CRTV, we had CRTV in 1985, he was the one that we all the Amazonians were proud of. I mean, with his beautiful afro at the time, So there was an interview that he gave to Mr. B when Mr. B said to him, je pense que ma tête comme ça et Eric Chinji n'est plus le chef. I think he remembers that. So that's to say, Biya as a dictator, Chiloma is still the same thing. Because Chiloma is of the same soup. I don't trust him at all. No one. We have to fight, please, for our total independence from these people. Chiloma is of the same soup. Political language, we have suffered it for 64 years. he told people in Bamenda, I followed him. He said he did not know the causes of the doctor. They just brought something to him to read. He did not know what it was. A minister who is a grandfather, if you cannot know, me who am a small child to you, would know that I can start telling how things happen in the days of Foncha Delhi. How the Foncha even struggled to fight. Struggling. Britain would be going to United Nations and collaborating, but they should not accept that Foncha and the people should have total independence. Chiloma will be telling Cameroonians that he did not know anything. That is a lie.
All right.
Please, I don't trust him.
All right.
I don't trust him.
Absolutely. You have an opinion there. Maybe one of these days when we have him on.
Greetings to the other brother who is there with you. I see Ambassador flag behind him. He is for what I am talking about. So
Okay.
please,
All
if
right. Thank
anybody
you.
who is talking about federalism had not have his house, family house, and grandmothers burnt alive, he would not be talking about what they are saying federalism. Please, I know you are there. You've lost your mother, you've lost your house. Those who have lost their house, I haven't lost anything. But I haven't lost anything like house burnt or whatever. But I feel so hurt for what people have done.
All right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
We come from the Bogogo area.
Hello. 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 Hello.
Hello, comrade. Please, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
Yes, I'm calling from Gang Zero, Bamenda precisely.
Okay, and what is your contribution, sir?
Yes, my contribution is to just let you know what is happening in La Republic right now. So
Okay.
it seems they have already set the CPDM hall in Chang due to election fraud. So this evening, people have protest in Chang until set the CPDM hall in Chang on fire, ablaze.
Oh, they burnt CPDM hall in Chang today?
Yeah, this evening. It's going on live this evening. The images we are having from there. Then during the daytime, during the protest in Douala also, they start spraying people with mami water as they were doing in Bamenda.
Okay.
And it seems as if tension is also mounting in Limbe in front of the Elecam office because they are forcing Chiroma's representative to sign the data that they have changed. They have changed the election there, so they are forcing the person who was representing Mr. Chiroma to sign those papers so that the populations are there mounting this evening that they should release him and he's not going to sign any result that is not the true result that was gotten from the poll.
All right. Thank you for the call. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Where are you calling from, please?
Yes, I'm speaking from Ground Zero.
What is your contribution?
Yeah.
What is your contribution?
Yeah, my contribution is to acknowledge the problem at hand, and I want to.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Where are you calling from, sir?
I'm calling from the Netherlands.
All right. And what is on your mind, sir?
Great. Thanks, Mr. Chris Anu, and thanks for having Mr. Eric Chinje there.
Okay.
So my question is, first of all, I have a question to Mr. Eric Ginger, he's talked about Mr. Chiroma, and I believe Mr. Chiroma has done his part, and the Ambazonia are gone already and standing on the fence and watching what's happening in La Republic. So my question to him is, does he believe that the French Cameroon citizens can stand up and defend their own particular vote that they have put forward? Can they do that? Because nobody is coming to fight for them. Can they do that? Because they can't be hanging on social media and be making comments and talking about Mr. Chiroma. He's done his part, he's waiting. Can they be able to defend their vote? My question is to Mr. Eric Ginger.
All right, thank you. Thank you. That's a very good question, Eric, because it's a question I have asked. I thought that right after Issa Chiroma declared victory, La Republicans citizens will swarm the voting centers and stay there until they get the right results coming from the right quarters.
That's not how it happens, Chris. I mean, there are systems in place, and until those systems fail, you cannot move on to a state of violence. Violence is justified when everything else has failed. What I believe we will see, and maybe this might answer the question. Mr. Chiroma has advised for people to stay calm. He's monitoring the situation. We will see. We're preparing the case, the arguments for any decision that will be taken, for or against any decision that will be taken at the Constitutional Council. That is the process. Now, if the Constitutional Council acts illegally as it did with Kamto, then they leave the people no other option but to reclaim forcefully their decision, the votes. The people have decided, the people have spoken. So yes, we'll go through, it's important to go through the process. A society of morals and legal and respect for the law must necessarily recognize these things. So why are the question was asked, why are people not revindicate, why are they not demanding that their will as expressed through the ballot box be respected? You must know that the country is almost burning. Bafoussam is in flames, parts of Bafoussam.
I learned that too.
Almost in flames. Today as we speak. So yes, there are people, but we've got to, and I think Mr. Chiroma has to try and do that. The rest of us will try to calm tempers. We've never resolved our human problems necessarily. I don't know that, violence is necessarily the best first step in resolving a problem. But I think, if the Constitutional Council and ELECAM and all those institutions that are there to ensure that the right things are done, if they cannot do it, there'll be a good reason to go to, to take them on. The streets will take them on. And that's what I think we will see.
All right.
There were a number of questions which I don't remember. I wish. Yeah.
Let's get back to the callers here. Hello. Hello, good evening, sir. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Comrade Eno Peter. I'm calling from France. First of all, I will say good evening to Big Brother Eric. And what is going on today is the problem. If Chiroma becomes the president, it is actually a step for us to see that maybe we can negotiate with him. But before that, he has to first of all release all the prisoners of conscience and all the people that were arrested. Like Big Brother Eric is trying to do, he's just trying because he has been in a diplomatic war for quite a long time, and he doesn't know sometimes where to hide his head, because with somebody of his caliber could not have come in to say something to bring Ambazonia and La Republique together, that we can talk on the table. So just like what is going on today, like the daughter of Bia is on the internet saying that the father have lost the election, and Chiruma is now the president, and she has been ordered to evacuate the Continental Hotel. Well, that is from her mouth on the Facebook. That she said, maintenant que Chiruma est devenu président, et le blanc ne vaut plus de moi, il vaut me éviter dans le hotel. Which means she is saying that now that Chiruma is not the president, the hotel that she is staying, they don't have any respect again for her, and they are asking her to leave because of problems in the hotel. So we just wait and see. Let the Francophone fight for their victory. It's not our business. Let them fight. Because in 1992, we lost a lot of people in Bamenda. The 2008 food crisis in Douala, we see how it happens. We have always been the one to lose our blood, but it's no more our business. Let them fight for their right and bring up a person. Let us see that we can discuss and see if they will come to us to see that they have our own respect.
All right, thank you for the call. Hello. Hello, where are you calling from, please?
I'm calling from Ground Zero.
What is your contribution?
Yes, I love the presentation this evening. I want to appreciate you, and I want to talk about Eric Chinje that is there. At times when he's on, I love to call to ask him some questions, because I've been for my age in Cameroon. These people have never respected their words. Never. They don't even know what they are saying, and they will not go back to your word. So they can say something in the morning, and in the evening, they will change it. So let him know we are on the ground. I was in the voting box. I counted the vote. But let him know one thing, because I heard him talking to you of us saying that people should not go and vote as if something will change. There is nothing that is going to change. Even now as they are talking and election is going on, Bia will still comes the winner. Is still the winner. And the people, this government is very devilish. They don't care about people's blood. They are going to suck it, and they are going to do whatsoever they want to do. So if Eric and his people want to fight, they should stand well, because the people are not going to allow them. That is why they are doing all the mafia to send back the man in the field. And they are serious about it. They are not joking about it. Though they should not expect that the council will come in and call the Issa Chiruma. We voted for him.
All right, thank you.
That I was.
Thank you.
We voted for him.
Okay, so you were you a polling station worker or what?
Yes, I came in when they called us to come and be witness. I even signed the paper that came in. I signed.
On behalf of which party?
That?
You worked there on behalf of which party?
I came there for Issa Chiruma. I came there I voted him first. Then we went back home. Then we came back again. They have to put us in the room. And so I have my result. But the people, the result that they are pasting in their own social media is not the same thing.
And where precisely did you was this polling station you witnessed?
It's in Douala.
Okay. All right. Thank you for making the point. We'll hear you.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Let's get this other caller first. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir. This is Uncle B, I guess.
Exactly, sir.
All right. What is on your mind, sir?
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Chris. I have two areas of concern I want Comrade Eric to address. First, I want let him keep the constitutional or whatever court they call, because that court is going to read by what the government is going to present to them. They might not even have access to what Chiruma is claiming. So what answer can they give to think that everything that when they proclaim, there'll be something different from what the Atacandis are saying? Number
It will be
two,
different.
our voices in the book, what I heard him say, nobody should be killed. I want him to address the father. What does he on his own part think should happen to those boys who already are fighting for Ambazonia? Are they going to integrate into the military or into the Ambazonia police force?
Well, we are not there yet. I don't think we are there. Well, maybe you're asking.
Wait. No, well, sometimes we make projections.
Okay,
I think
right.
this can happen. This can happen. That's what I wanted to do.
Okay.
And then number three is that I heard such rumors explaining that we were not given the ability to vote whether or be on our own. I want Eric to attempt to answer for me this question. Is he going to urge Issa Chiroma a situation within to give us the opportunity to say we were not asked whether we wanted to be on our own? He acknowledges that. Is he going to give us the opportunity to then decide whether we want that or not? Will that also be presented what he wants us to be? Or he's just going to suspend, having acknowledged that we were not asked that option? Is he going to provide for other option? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Eric, go on, please. That last part is very important.
Yes, very important, Chris. Again, as I say, I am one person, albeit someone with a voice. And I'll use that voice to say exactly this. As soon as Mr. Chiroma is sworn in, I will do everything in my power to make sure he keeps his word on addressing this problem over every other problem. I will do everything in my power to make sure this problem is resolved, is addressed. And I know it will. I believe he will, because he has come to understand it in its deepest expressions. Now, what I can say is, yes, it will not be my decision. It will not be your decision, Chris. It will be all of us sitting together and determining the best way forward. I can guarantee you that. And that's all I can do. Make sure that we come to a meaningful consensus on the best way forward. Is it independence? Is it statehood? Is it within a federation? You know, somebody says they've heard me speak in favor of a federation. I don't remember that I have, but my position has always been the same. And I'm saying it again, which is we've got to sit together and resolve this problem. Because we come at it, we, Ambazonians, we, Southern Cameroonians, we, the West Cameroonians, we, the Anglophone speakers of Cameroon. Give it any name, it's just a name. But we come at it from different angles. There are respected Amazonians who are federalists, or, well, you know, maybe not Amazonians, but certainly people from that geography who are federalists. There are those who are for, you call them Remain, for the federation as it is, for the republic as it is. There are those who would rather, you know, have a state. There are those who would even want two states.
Yeah.
Because they say, oh no, you know, those folks cannot get along with those others. So let's all sit together calmly. And let all the, you know, there's a lot of water has gone below the bridge. Let's let the water flow. Let's sit together and design a future that our children will be proud of. That's what this is it really comes down to. There's a lot of anger. I mean, Chris, I know what you've gone through. I have lost family members in this stupid war. You and I were not responsible for this war.
No, we're not.
Yes, Mr. Bia, who declared the war. Are we going to bring back the 93-year-old man and drag him through the mud? I don't know. But let's do the right thing. Let's get Mr. Chiroma to office if we can, and we'll do everything we can to get him there, and hold him to his word. Organize this roundtable with all the stakeholders. Let's decide what to do. We need help from the United Nations. Let's bring in the UN from the African Union. Let's bring them in. Whoever the stakeholders are, let's have that meeting and determine the future. Look, our emotions will not resolve it. The anger, the hate, the disappointments will not resolve it. Let's set our eyes. Let the future be our North Star. Let's reach for the North Star. That's what I'll say.
All right. We will leave it there, but before we do that, Chris, go ahead, please, and if you want to address some of those callers, that is okay, and then we'll call it a night. Chris, can you hear me?
Yes, Comrade Chris, yes. Well, just from what the previous callers were saying, I want to go back to the question of instability within the territory of La République du Cameroun and Ambazonia, because some of the things that we are hearing about buildings being burnt, it's not going to be only in only on the French Cameroon side. Many people are very, very angry and disappointed with the CPDM party for all these years that they have been entrenched in power. They have caused a lot of havoc in the lives of both Ambazonians and people of the French Cameroon. Families have suffered a lot. If you want to just name a few things, look at the roads. Some of the roads that were built by the Germans and even the British. Some of those roads are still being, including even bridges. Some of them are still being used. The ones that were built early in by Ahijo and the French. Most of them have collapsed. We are talking infrastructure here. Look at electricity. In some towns, you turn on the light, you can't even read with the light that it is being emitted from a bulb. We ask people what is going on. They tell you it's low voltage. This is unacceptable in a country that has so many resources. With water resources for electricity. They have in many places, but they still cannot produce electricity for the nation. Look at water. How many places can you open a tap on both sides? I'm talking like in Ambazonia and in French Cameroon. Open a tap and take water and drink and believe and know that water is clean. It's lead free or it doesn't contain other contaminants. Not things like that. Look at the healthcare system. There was a time I saw a picture of a hospital in Limbe. Even a butcher shop in the United States is better than a surgery room in that hospital. I'm talking about a butcher shop where they butcher animals is cleaner than that hospital surgery room. Look at the educational system. Everything is down. Everything that is the people in the French Cameroon side are suffering from, Ambazonians are suffering the same way. So this change coming is a good thing. We only hope that Mr. Issa Chiroma is going to play his part and make improvements for his country and find a way to resolve the conflict between his country and Ambazonia.
All right.
That's my conclusion. Thank you.
Before we go, Eric, I really love to ask you. It's an opinion question here. What do you think becomes of the CPDM? Do you see that party surviving after Chiroma takes over leadership?
No, it will implode. No, I do not doubt it for 1 second. It will implode. It was never a party. Mr. Biya himself is not even a member of that party. He's not done anything to demonstrate his party status. So we don't know. They tell us he's the president of the party, but he's not convened the Congress, he's not convened the political bureau, he's not been a part of the Central Committee. He's done nothing. They do all the work for him.
So where do
So it
you
will
see
implode. It will almost cease to exist.
So where do you see the Atanganjis, the Gregoire Owanas, the Ngongo, the Paul Tasum? Where would they be militating in?
You know, there's some good guys there. You know, Ellen Paul, for example, is a great guy. Asheri Kilo is a wonderful lady. There are some really good people there. Hopefully, they'll come back into the mix and define their roles and play those roles. But there are some fellows who would either run out of the country or go where they deserve to be, which is the place they call Konegi.
Or they go and breed their oil like Emi Banko, I guess. All right, Eric, please, thank you for coming on. We had a lot of technical issues today, but I'm hoping that next time we get it right.
Yes.
You have a great night, sir.
Absolutely, Chris. Absolutely. Thank you
so
much.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, we are caught up with time and we can't go ahead, but I promise to be back here tomorrow with another very interesting show. Before I go, again, I'm appealing to all of you out there, please consider supporting ABS so we can stay on satellite and keep on bringing this education and information to everyone out there in Africa. We're looking for 100 people who will sign up to give ABS just $25 every month, a commitment for a year. If you want to do that, please send me a message on the number you find on your screen, and we'll let you to know how to go about that. Again, we need 100 people who will sign up to donate $25 on a monthly basis to ABS so that we can take care of the satellite bill. We are in 2 satellites in all of Africa. And the only way we keep it and do what we are doing here is to have people like you who will stand up to say, I like what you guys are doing, this is my support. So please send me a message through the number on your screen and we'll go from there. Thank you very much for tuning in. It was my pleasure to be here. I look forward to coming back tomorrow. Tomorrow being Thursday, and it is going to be as exciting as usual with some very special guests. Very special guests coming to be a part of the show. You have a great night. God bless.